Hello, friends and neighbors, and welcome to the show. I'm your host, Jake Schaff, bringing you all of the latest news and stories from right here in Greater West Bloomfield. Right here in Oakland County, a new and innovative vodcast has been launched to connect the community with their school district. The Oakland Schools Insider serves as a platform to showcase compelling stories, spotlighting the people, programs, and initiatives driving meaningful student success all across Oakland County and the broader Michigan education landscape. Here to tell us more about this series is the host of the Oakland Schools Insider and Oakland Schools Superintendent Kenneth Gutman. Kenneth, thank you so much for joining us today.
My pleasure, and good morning to you.
Good morning to you as well. I mean, this is such a great project that's being unveiled that everyone can enjoy. I'm going to get right into it. What inspired the creation of the Oakland Schools Insider, and what gap were you hoping it would fill?
So we actually started this because of a staff survey that highlighted our clear desire to increase the visibility of what we do here at Oakland Schools and broaden some stakeholder awareness. This insider was created in direct response to the feedback we received, and now we have a dedicated platform to share and celebrate the impactful work happening across Oakland County and also throughout all of our local districts.
And that's great that you're showcasing all of these different stories and different ways of storytelling to all of these people, everyone who's going to be listening to this vodcast. Why is storytelling such an important tool when it comes to education today?
Well, we know powerful stories are unfolding in our classrooms across the county every day, yet many go untold. Stories are told about public schools, but we don't always tell our own story. So we now have a chance to highlight and celebrate the achievements of our students, of our educators in meaningful ways. And so through this, we're elevating voices and experiences and continuing to focus on showcasing student achievement.
That's great. And I'm sure with something like this, there's going to be a wide array of guests that you're going to have on, individuals. What can you tell me about the kinds of people that you're going to be having on the Oakland Schools Insider, and how do you decide which stories, programs, or individuals to feature in each episode?
Yeah, thank you for that. I try to stay out of who we're featuring. I let our communications team handle all of that heavy lift, and they work from an editorial calendar. And we consult with our district teams and tech campus staff so we know what's happening across the county. We'll interview students, interview superintendents, teachers. We'll do it here in our studio at Oakland Schools, and we'll also get out to local districts. We just want to really show off all of the great things happening here in the county.
That's right, getting out there, seeing everything up close, everything that makes the Oakland School District as amazing as it is. And I'm sure with something like this, there's a very intricate production process when it comes to putting something like this together. Walk us through the production process for something like this, from idea all the way to the final product.
And once again, yeah, I can share with you the process. I try to stay out of it and show up at the end. And we really have great people on our communications team who do the heavy lift. But they review their editorial calendar, story submission ideas. They secure guests, coordinate schedules. They begin the scripting, and then there's post-production editing, which takes, a little bit longer. Each episode, I'm told, takes about 3 weeks from the beginning to the end.
Wow, 3 weeks, but all of that work is going somewhere, and it really shows in the final product, like that everything is coming together for this incredible vodcast. Now, how has this vodcast influenced awareness or perception of Oakland Schools and its programs?
Well, we're only filming our third episode this week, so it's early, but we don't really know the impact yet. But our first episode was well received, a number of views on YouTube, which was a strong start for a vodcast format. We do think we enjoy some respect across the county, and we're trying to increase awareness of what ISDs do. We do anticipate that we'll enhance the awareness through this and try to reinforce a positive perception of not just Oakland Schools, but what's happening across the county in classrooms and schools.
For those just joining us on the Splash Live, I'm talking with Oakland Schools Superintendent Kenneth Gutman about the brand new Oakland Schools vodcast series, the Oakland Schools Insider, which is going to be interviewing teachers, students, everyone from all throughout the Oakland School District to get a better sense of what is going on within the schools and to be communicating throughout the entire district. Now, I do want to talk about, because I mean, again, this is still very early on, so we do have to see a few more episodes, but I am curious, what ways does the vodcast support student engagement and pride within the district?
Yeah, that's another outstanding question. This vodcast really is an opportunity for us to highlight students from our technical campus and throughout our districts. We had someone on our second episode, a student who grew a 1,000-pound pumpkin. I mean, these are really intriguing stories. I find it fascinating. It's great to have a platform where we really can elevate our student voices. So we'll be out throughout the county. We'll be here in our building highlighting our students. Ideally, our students will become more engaged through this, or at the very least, will share their engagement in the educational process.
Yeah, you always want to hear stories like that. Did you say 1,000-pound pumpkin? Did I hear that right?
1,000-pound pumpkin. You need to check out episode 2. Incredible.
Wow.
Next year, I understand he wants to grow a 2,000-pound pumpkin.
Man, those are the great pumpkins that Linus has been talking about for years with Charlie Brown. I mean, that is incredible. Those are the stories we want to hear and we want to showcase. Now, Kenneth, as superintendent, along with being the host, you're also superintendent, of course. How does hosting this vodcast shape or reflect your leadership approach?
Yeah, so it really has to do with being out in the community, being visible. You know, a superintendent who sits in his office or her office all day gets a filtered message, doesn't connect with what's happening in the field. So getting to connect with students and staff and parents throughout the county keeps me grounded. There's a transparency to it. There's an openness. There's a vulnerability. And ultimately, there's an opportunity to show what great education we provide here in Oakland County. So for me, it's really about getting out into the field, talking to people, and more importantly, listening to their story.
That's right. Hearing those stories, talking to people, getting to know them, and showcasing everything you can with the Oakland Schools Insider. Now, we've seen Oakland County implementing something like this. Do you possibly see this model being replicated in other regions or other educational systems, maybe taking a page out of Oakland County's book?
Well, we'd like to have some success first,
of course.
But it's certainly possible. I mean, the education community does recognize the importance of telling stories, and whether it's a vodcast or another platform, any effort to highlight and share meaningful stories of student achievement, we fully support and would be happy to take part in with our local district or others who'd like to replicate this.
Well, yeah, I'm sure, and we want to see this vodcast go on for quite a long time. Kenneth, what is your long-term vision for the Oakland Schools Insider, maybe over the next 3 or 4 years?
Well, we know it will evolve as we receive feedback on it. We'll certainly reach out to the field and see how it's being received. But I'd like to see it continue to evolve in ways that are creative, that are fast-paced, that are compelling. And again, we keep the focus on students, student achievement, and great instruction throughout our county, and great leadership. We'd like to showcase all of our great leaders throughout the county as well.
Of course, staying with those core values and those core principles that make this vodcast what it is. Kenneth, it's been great talking to you. I got one more question before we wrap things up. Can you give us maybe a little bit of insight on maybe the next couple installments of the Oakland Schools Insider, of what people can expect?
Well, we're going to continue to talk to people in the field. I'm going to interview tomorrow for our episode 3, Sherry Collins, who's our communications person, and talk to her a little bit about the Insider as well. We'll get a little behind the scenes peek. And in the future, I'll be interviewing a local superintendent in episode 4, and then more great stories about students to come.
Awesome. Can't wait to see these stories. Can't wait to see all the great storytelling opportunities that there are within the Oakland School District. Kenneth, thank you so much for joining us today here on The Splash Live.
Always a pleasure to be on The Splash. Thanks for having me.
Of course, the Oakland Schools Insider, showcasing those all-important stories from students, from teachers, from educators, everywhere you look throughout the Oakland School District. So we appreciate Kenneth joining us here on The Splash Live. Throughout Greater West Bloomfield, there has always been a deep interest in our local fire department, and that interest has extended to our high schoolers. West Bloomfield High School holds a meeting with the West Bloomfield Fire Club every Wednesday, allowing students and even some young aspiring firefighters the chance to get an inside look at the fire department's operations and learn crucial life-saving techniques that can go a long way. I got to attend one of their recent meetings to speak with a couple of students as to why this club is important and what they've learned.
Well, I was interested in going to the paramedic field and the firefighting field after I graduate, so this was just a nice opportunity to get some of the skills before I head to paramedic school and just get a little bit of practice and knowledge so I know what I'm headed in for.
And what have been some of the biggest things you've learned as a part of this club so far?
Some things I've learned here, I've learned a bunch of good knots, I've learned a bunch of moving tactics, like how to move people, I've learned a lot more first aid stuff like basic life saving, and I learned a little bit of fire behavior.
Well, I've learned a lot about like what I can have at my house to like be precautionary against like emergencies, and ways in my house that I should be thinking about if is a fire, what can cause it, where I should be worrying about, how I should be like making sure my furniture is like accessible to like people coming in case of a fire. If it's easier to get in and out, and like just being prepared.
And especially working closely with the West Bloomfield Fire Department and all these incredible firefighters, what is it like to gain this expertise and to gain this knowledge from some of our first responders firsthand?
It's really fun because they're like all really fun people, and we do a lot of fun things, and they make learning about it really interesting and don't make it seem like, oh, this is obvious or things like that. It makes it really interesting, and they help encourage like me doing it, because I did think about it last year, but I know that I can't commit to that. It's like a lot of work. And I really respect them for like being able to commit to this life and like do the work. And it's nice to meet them and like understand who these people actually are, so that when there is an emergency, I'm not like scared to talk to the people, and like it makes make them more human and less like, oh my gosh, it's like a firefighter.
It was a thing last year, and now it's a thing this year. I hope it continues, because honestly, you can learn a lot of good skills on basic life-saving, basic first aid, basic, staying calm in a stressful situation. It's great to do some hands-on work instead of just, being talked at. It's great to get some hands-on experience and learning and practicing those skills.
It's a very fascinating experience to see what the firefighters deal with on a day-to-day basis, and for these students to get to experience and look at some of these tools firsthand. So definitely a very immersive and educational experience, and great to see the fire department passing on some of their skills to the next generation. This appreciation for the fire department has also led some to wonder what it's like out on the road as the firefighters survey the city, keeping everybody safe. Our own Jonathan Montgomery recently had the chance to ride along with the fire department to see things firsthand.
If you ever thought about being a firefighter or a first responder, look no further than the West Bloomfield Fire Department. Today, I had an opportunity to take a look into their ride-along program.
We've had a ride-along program at the West Bloomfield Fire Department for my whole career. I've been here nearly 22 years now, and initially it was kind of exclusive just to kind of expose some of our hospital partners to what treatment looks like in the field. We realized pretty quickly this is also a pretty good recruiting opportunity, so we've since opened it up to EMT and paramedic students, as well as high school students who've expressed some interest in a career in first response.
How important do you feel like it is to have programs like these in this community?
It's absolutely a part of the job. This is a West Bloomfield service. We want people to feel welcome here, whether they are interested in a career here or if they really just want to see what a day in the life of a West Bloomfield firefighter is. These are your tax dollars. We want you to see how we're putting your tax dollars to good use. So anyone who's interested, we welcome you to come in and stop by, if not for a ride-along, just to see what your tax dollars are buying. This is a wonderful service, and we're proud to show it off.
West Bloomfield is full of amazing people who do amazing things to keep our community safe and keep us protected. Being a first responder isn't easy, and we thank the West Bloomfield Fire Department for the hard work that they do serving this community every day. For Civic Center TV, I'm Jonathan Montgomery.
A lot of hard work goes into keeping Greater West Bloomfield safe, and it's really cool to get a peek behind the curtain to see what goes into making that happen. So we appreciate Jonathan Montgomery for going out and getting that story. We're just getting started here with the Splash Live. Plenty of more great stories and topics to get into right after this. Live, local, social. It's the Splash Live on Civic Center TV.
When you have a gambling problem, you have a money problem. Don't let your gambling cause you financial hardship. If you or someone you love is struggling with gambling, we can help. Get free confidential counseling and win your life back. Learn more at michigan.gov/problemgambling.
Live, local, social. It's the Splash Live on Civic Center TV. Welcome back to the show, everybody. I'm your host, Jake Sheff, going over all of the biggest news and events from right here in Greater West Bloomfield. With springtime in the air, that means everyone is getting outside and enjoying the many outdoor celebrations West Bloomfield has to offer. Many of them courtesy of our friends over with West Bloomfield Parks. They've got plenty of fun family events lined up in the coming weeks, including their annual Egg Scramble event taking place March 27th, their Earth Day celebration on April 16th, and Touch a Truck at Drake Sports Park on April 24th. So much to look forward to as spring is becoming the busy season for West Bloomfield Parks. Here to tell us more is the recreation programmer with West Bloomfield Parks, Crystal Smith. Crystal, thank you so much for joining us today.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Of course, we've got a very busy season for West Bloomfield Parks coming up very, very soon. You're getting outside again. We've got the Egg Scramble, Earth Day, Touch a Truck. What makes these spring events so special for the West Bloomfield community?
Well, you know, many families attend these events every year, so they've become traditions that people look forward to, which make them even more meaningful. These events bring families, neighbors, community partners together in a very fun and meaningful way. And each event offers something different, but they all create opportunities for families to spend time outdoors, engage, and make memories together. The Egg Scramble is exciting and energetic for kids and families with a fun train ride, petting zoo, and engaging egg matching activities. Our Earth Day celebration connects people with nature and environmental stewardship. Touch a Truck gives kids a hands-on experience with the vehicles and equipment that they see in their communities every day. And it just really showcases what makes West Bloomfield such a strong community. Our collaboration, family involvement, and providing high-quality experiences for all of our residents.
That's right, a wide variety of events and something for everybody with these incredible things to look forward to. So how do you ensure each event appeals to a wide range of ages and interests throughout Greater West Bloomfield?
We're very intentional about offering a variety of activities that engage different age groups, abilities, and preferences. We try to build each event with layers so that they're high energy, interactive elements for kids, but also opportunities for families, teens, and adults to participate in meaningful ways. We also design our events with accessibility and diversity in mind to ensure that everyone feels included when they join us in West Bloomfield Parks.
That's events. Right. Making sure no family member gets left behind, something for everyone to enjoy. Now, you guys do fun community events all throughout the year with West Bloomfield Parks, but what makes spring a particularly exciting time for parks and recreation in West Bloomfield?
I'd say spring's an exciting time for Parks and Rec in West Bloomfield because it's really the start of our outdoor event season and brings the community back together after those cold, long winter months. It's an important time for us from our point of view because we're launching spring and summer programs, preparing our parks and facilities for the busy season and welcoming seasonal staff and volunteers. So spring feels like a fresh start each year, and it's exciting to see the parks full again, families attending those events, and communities actively using the spaces and programs that we work hard to provide.
That's right, and it's a way for everybody to kind of get back outside again after so many months staying warm inside, trying to avoid the cold winter air. How do these events help encourage residents to get outdoors after the winter months?
Well, it's the kickoff of some of our largest community events taking place outdoors, like the Egg Scramble, Earth Day, Touch a Truck, and our community garage sale, which really set the tone for the rest of the year. People are so ready to get outside, attend events, visit the parks, and participate in programs again. So there's a lot of energy and excitement stirring up in the community around the springtime.
I would imagine so. For those just joining us on the Splash Live, I'm talking with Crystal Smith, the recreation programmer with West Bloomfield Parks, talking about the many fun spring events we've got coming up within the next few weeks. Now, Crystal, this is something I've always been curious about because I'd imagine there's a ton of work that goes into properly planning everything that's to take place throughout the spring and summer season. What goes into the planning and preparing for a busy spring event season with West Bloomfield Parks?
collaboration with our community partners and sponsors, reviewing the trends of what's popular in our community and other communities. And we're constantly striving to improve our events to meet the community's evolving needs. So we are always looking at past feedback and planning ahead for each event to make sure that those events meet what our community wants.
Of course, making sure they're up to standards, making sure that everyone in the community approves of these events. Now, I am also curious, how far in advance does your team typically begin organizing these events?
You know, the planning efforts for these events truly never cease. As soon as the event ends, we're already receiving feedback and making adjustments for the following year. I would say that planning for these bigger, large special events is a year-round job. So we're constantly looking back into our event files and making sure that we're ready for the next season. I would say that it never really ends.
Yeah, I mean, that's right. You keep that momentum going as long as you possibly can. Use that momentum to bring you into the summer season and then the fall season and then the winter season once again right after that. I mean, it's all about maintaining that consistency. Now, Crystal, I got a few more questions before we wrap things up. With these events, what is your broader vision for community engagement through West Bloomfield Parks?
I would say it's just to continue creating programs, events, volunteer opportunities that make our community feel connected, not just to our parks, but to each other as a community as a whole. Parks and recreation are often one of the easiest and most welcoming ways for people to get involved in their community. So I see our role as creating opportunities for people of all ages to participate, volunteer, learn, and build that sense of community pride. I also think it's important that we continue to evolve our programs based on the community's feedback and changing needs. That means creating new events, improving our existing ones, increasing accessibility, and making sure that we're offering programs for a wide range of ages and interests and abilities. Community engagement isn't just about attendance numbers, it's about people feeling welcome, involved, and proud of their parks and their community. So ultimately, the goal is for residents to see West Bloomfield Parks not just as a place that they visit, but as a place they belong.
I love that, making sure everybody feels welcome and you truly belong with this community. Last question, Crystal. With these events, they're beloved events, they're events we look forward to every single year. Are there any new ideas or additions that you're excited to introduce in the coming months or possibly in future seasons?
Yes, I'm very excited to introduce our Fall Fetch Festival happening at the end of September. It's an outdoor pet-friendly program. So families with dogs, cats, lizards, birds, they can come join us. They can enjoy a Canine Stars stunt show, which will be very exciting to see live dog performances and tricks. And obviously, I'm really excited about the development of our Connect Community Center. We just can't wait to host some of our programs at our new space in the coming years.
That's right. That's just going to open up the realm of possibilities even more throughout Greater West Bloomfield with what Parks is able to accomplish. Crystal, thank you so much for joining us today here on the Splash Live.
Thank you so much.
So many great events to look forward to throughout the spring season. Once again, mark your calendars. The Egg Scramble taking place on March 27th. Earth Day celebration on April 16th and Touch a Truck on April 24th, all courtesy of West Bloomfield Parks. We really appreciate Crystal for joining us on the Splash Live, for giving us all of these great previews of what's to come with the spring season. Next week, April 3rd, is the season opener for the Detroit Tigers. With baseball fever spreading throughout the community, everyone is looking for ways to celebrate. All seasons, West Bloomfield is getting in on the action with a wonderful celebration with their residents to enjoy the game on the big screen and to share in the baseball fun. Here to tell us more is the Director of Life Enrichment at All Seasons West Bloomfield, Molly Ellenberger. Molly, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, love talking about stuff like this, especially as more and more great pastimes return for spring and summer. What inspired All Seasons to host a Detroit Tigers home opener celebration for their residents?
So we do this every year. It's kind of a celebration that baseball season has started, which is a sport favorite here, and for spring.
Love it. And baseball, of course, I mean, it means so much to a lot of different people. Why is baseball such a meaningful sport, especially for the many seniors in this community?
I think because they have lived through a lot of baseball through the years. A lot of our residents actually witnessed the Detroit Tigers winning the 4 World Series that they have won. So it just brings a huge celebration to our community that, you know, they get to watch baseball, it's back, and something that they have past memory of. So going to the games with their families and hosting baseball watch parties. And so it just brings a lot of different emotion and excitement back into the community.
I'd imagine so, especially with a team that they've watched for many, many years. I mean, I believe the last time the Tigers won the World Series, if I'm not mistaken, was 1984. So it's been a minute since we've gotten that trophy once again. But what makes recreating the ballpark experience important for residents who may not be able to attend the games in person?
I think it's giving them that experience that they've had and reliving those fun memories. It's decorating like the stadium. It's bringing the food that they enjoyed at the stadium. And it's also about just celebrating something that's happy and positive and enjoying that with the new relationships that they have built here at the community and talking about all the memories that they've had over baseball throughout their years.
It's great. It's sharing in this common interest that everybody can enjoy, especially with watching the game firsthand and seeing all the action with the Detroit Tigers. Now, Molly, how do events like this support the overall well-being and happiness of your residents?
I think it's mood boosting. It's giving them life and getting to experience and create memories with where they're at now in life. And it just brings out a good morality to their well-being.
I'd imagine so. And I mean, there's so much that everybody can enjoy, so much that the residents can enjoy with this wonderful event. I mean, especially it gives them something to look forward to with their time at All Seasons. For those just joining us on the Splash Live, I'm talking with Molly Ellenberger, the Life Enrichment Director with All Seasons West Bloomfield, about the Detroit Tigers season opener that they're going to be having on April 3rd for the residents of their community. Now, a baseball celebration, watching a fun game like this, that's always a great time, but having it being opening day, how does opening day in Detroit add a special layer of excitement to this celebration?
I think because it's at home, it's the home stadium of our favorite team, and everyone usually is available on this day because a lot of Detroiters do celebrate this, and it just brings back more memories of being excited for Detroit opening day and all the memories that they've lived prior to. And I think it just adds that extra element of excitement and knowing that it's right downtown happening right now. And we're also celebrating here in West Bloomfield. So it adds to the extra excitement.
That's right. All of this excitement happening not too far away from right here in West Bloomfield. And there's so much for the residents to take in. Now, Molly, how does All Seasons continue to find creative ways to bring joy and engagement into daily life for these residents?
I think the most important thing that we do at All Seasons is getting to know the residents and finding what their hobbies are, what they like doing, and then building on that. And some things for me is you have to adapt and try new things, and working with the community, working as a team and with residents to create new experiences along with the normal activities to have, because you have to keep that perfect balance of trying new things, but also keeping the comfort of they know what these activities are. So working as a team and just getting the feedback of what they want to see. For example, we've had residents who heard about a restaurant on the radio and they said they've never experienced this restaurant and they really wanted to try it. So we made it happen. And doing those types of things and really listening to what they want is how we keep creating new social experiences.
I love that. Listening to the residents, hearing what they want to see happen at all seasons. I mean, it's that communication that really goes a long way. And I would imagine, especially with events like this, nostalgia probably plays another big role in prepping things and setting the stage for things at all seasons. What role does nostalgia play in planning events like this, would you say?
It plays a really big meaning for that. It's creating that environment. So we have the decor of the Detroit Tigers. It's bringing in the foods that from the ballpark that they remember having, and the music from their era. It just builds on this big event to create the memories that we want to create and remember.
Really setting the stage for these seniors. I mean, they're going to have an amazing time watching this game. Molly, I got one more question before we wrap things up. And this is a bit of a broader question, but for families considering senior living options for someone in their family, how do events like this showcase what makes all seasons unique?
I think showcasing events like this shows families that we don't just plan the basics, and we really create an environment where residents can thrive and are cared for, and that's the number one thing when someone is looking into senior living for a family member. They want them to thrive. They want someone that they feel they can trust with their loved one. And I think that we as a company and a community, we really build on, this is not just a job. We work in their home. We are creating friendship and we are creating love and safety, and we're here to enrich their life. And I think that builds in what we do, and families see that we don't just do the basics. We go out of our way to create more experiences and to let them thrive.
I love that, really making all of these seniors feel welcome with all seasons. And they're going to have an amazing time at this baseball celebration on April 3rd. Molly, thank you so much for joining us today here on the Splash Live.
Thank you for having us.
Of course, a wonderful time watching the Detroit Tigers season opener on April 3rd at All Seasons West Bloomfield. Those seniors are going to have an incredible day of baseball fun. We're going to take one more break and jump into a couple more quick stories right after this. Live, local, social. It's the Splash Live on Civic Center TV.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Live, local, social. It's the Splash Live on Civic Center TV. Welcome back to the show. I'm your host, Jake Schaff. With the spring season coming, that also means it's time for spring break. Lots of people going out, getting their vacation ready, and making sure that the next day, I'm going to do that again. I'm sorry. Okay, I got it. I'm ready. Okay. Live, local, social. It's the Splash Live on Civic Center TV. Welcome back to the show. I'm your host, Jake Schaff. With spring season once again making its way to Greater West Bloomfield, that also means it's time for spring break. And everybody's looking to go on a wonderful vacation for their spring break. But in order to do so, you got to make sure that everything is up to date, that your passports are up to date, and all of your travel situations are taken care of. I recently stopped by Going Postal in West Bloomfield to speak with Greg Gabara about the importance of getting your passport renewed in time and how quick the process can be.
Well, as of right now, we do about a dozen passport renewals here a day. We have noticed a surge in the last month or two just because of spring break plans and summer vacation plans. If your passport expires within 6 months, you're not allowed to travel out of the country. Most countries won't let you in. They're sitting at an airport with suntan lotion in their hand thinking they're going to be on a beach or a pool in the next couple hours, but get sent back home. So it's very important that you check your passports, make sure that just because they're valid, it doesn't, as long as it's within 6 months of it expiring, you won't be able to travel.
Walk me through what the passport renewal process is like, maybe for someone who's never done it before.
Okay, so the renewal is pretty much, it's this DS-82 form. You just come in, it's just the basic information. You fill it out, we process it for you, we take your photo here at Going Postal in West Bloomfield, and we can have a passport to you within as soon as 2 weeks. Normal passport renewals take about 4 to 6, so just depending on when you need it.
Okay, so you guys really act fast to make sure that people have what they need, that it's up to date, and that nobody's vacation ends up getting thrown into jeopardy.
Correct. Yeah, we make sure that if we can't do it here, we'll get you to downtown that will do it the same day for emergency passports. We make sure at Going Postal here that everything is filled out right. What a lot of people are doing now is going online. It's a new thing online, trying to do it online. When you punch in the word passport, renewal, or new, you're getting dozens of websites that are popping up before the .gov website. So people are going online, putting all the personal information, their address, their name, their social security number, and it's to a third-party company, and they charge you a lot of money to do what we basically do, is hand you a form. So, and then uploading your photo online is quite a task also. We've had a lot of people that started it online and just ended up coming in here. When you come in here, you're here about 15 or 20 minutes. We'll have you in and out, get your passport real quick within a few weeks if needed. There's not much more to know. People think it's complicated because it's only every 10 years, but we make it very easy, and you don't need an appointment when you come in here. You just walk in, we do them on Saturdays, we take the photos, and we do the whole process for you, and we walk you right through it. So it's very simple. It's not as difficult as people may think.
It's that easy of a process to get your passports ready. That's going to do it for us today here on the Splash Live. Big thank you to all of our guests and for everybody on the Splash Live team for helping to make this show possible every single day. I've been your host, Jake Schaff, live, local, social. It's the Splash Live on Civic Center TV.